So we're at the stage on our project now where we're going to start adding the Trex Signature railing. The railing comes in a series of options. So we have a signature horizontal rail with square balusters. This is available in black, white and bronze. We also have a Trex Signature crossover option, which keeps your handrail the same height in between all your posts. Again, this is available in black, white or bronze. The final option we have is the Trex Signature glass, which comes with a glass insert panel, and that's available in black only. So the Trex Signature range offers 3 different post options. We have the white post here, which is our standard height post for a horizontal rail kit. We have what's known as a crossover post. This is where the rail would sit on this crossover bracket and keep the rail at the same height all the way across. Then we have a longer post, which is for stairs. The reason we have a longer post for the stairs is as you increase the rake of the angle of the handrail, you need just a bit of extra length to cut that post to height, but we'll cover that when we come to fit the stair kit. The post options come with a cover trim for the base plate and a cap to cover off the top as well. This is the horizontal rail kit with square balusters, and inside the box you'll see you get a handy guide on how to fit your rail kit. So there's an installation guide in every single box. We have the packet with all the bracketry and the fasteners within, so all the screws are provided within each kit. We have our internal spindles, cover plates, top and bottom, and we have the rails, top and bottom. So inside each box of the Signature railing there is a bracket kit. Within this bracket kit you have the base rail brackets, the handrail brackets and the cover strips to cover those. We also have the screws and fasteners to attach these to your posts. This option is to be used if you're fixing these brackets into a timber post. On this project we're fixing them to the Trex Signature aluminium post, so we were going to use these smaller self-tapping screws. And this longer screw, it screws the base rail and the handrail down into the balusters to pull the whole system together. Now looking at the handrail options that come in the horizontal rail kit, we have the base rail, which is very rectangular in its shape, so it's easy to identify. This one sits in that rectangular bottom bracket. The profile of this cover strip is very flat to mirror the shape of this bottom handrail. The top handrail has a very different profile to it, so it's easily identifiable again. And the cover strip for that has a more domed finish, so it's more comfortable when your hand's on it. Inside both the handrail and the base rail, we have this plastic grommet that slides up and down the channel. And when you're fitting, to ensure that this is centralised so you can get to this aperture for putting your screws in. We'll explain that a little bit more as we fit the railing, but it slides up and down. The purpose of this grommet is as you insert the square balusters through these holes, it locks onto those square balusters to stop them from rattling. The final element inside the box of the Signature railing kit is the square balusters. You'll notice one of these is shorter, and if we look at the end profile of this particular square baluster, you'll notice the lugs are there to allow you to screw in to pull the system together. The first step is for us to fit the brackets onto our posts. Each fitting kit comes with instructions on where you can mount your posts. So we know from reading the installation guide, you need to make a mark 35mm from the top of this base plate, and then need to make another mark 1002mm, again coming up off the base plate. That mark represents the mounting point of the bottom of the base bracket. So by putting it above that line, we'll make a mark with our pencil. It's then a good idea to grab a 3.5mm pre-drill. We're now going to attach our base rail bracket. To attach this to the post, we're going to use our smaller stubby screws with the self-drilling bit, and we need a square 2 drive bit. At this point, it's really important that we don't use an impact gun to put these fasteners in. They're stainless steel screws, so you need to use a drill driver and set your torque setting reasonably low so we don't snap the heads off the screws. So now the bottom bracket is attached to the post. We'll repeat this process for the top bracket at the other end. The aluminium plate and hardware kit, essentially a fitting kit for the posts. We have 4 bolts that are going to drop down through the base plate of the deck itself. We have to drill out through the decking and the timber blocking that we put into to mount the post onto. And then this base plate will come up from below and sandwich that timber together with a washer and a nut onto the end to tighten the whole thing together. To ensure our holes are located in the right place, I know we need to be 110mm off of both edges of the deck. Now that it's in the right position, we can mark where we're going to make our screw holes. Now we can drill right down through the composite. With our post now secured to the deck, we're going to take the measurement from the inside of the bracket to the other inside of the bracket. That will give us the mark for our bottom rail. Make sure that we give an equal spacing between the cut and the first spindle, and you need to allow at least 30mm to get the rail to sit into the brackets. So sometimes you need to offset those marks down the rail kit to ensure you get that equal spacing. So now by lining up the holes, we can transfer the mark from our first rail across to our second at both ends. This will make it easier to cut this in one pass. Before we make our cut, we ensure that this grommet is centralised across that screw hole. One top tip that we can give you here is try to do all of your drilling and mounting of the posts and brackets where you can away from your deck. These filings of aluminium, sometimes they can get stuck onto the surface of your deck, and it can be a bit difficult to clear up because they're so sharp. So if you can do it off your deck, it's fantastic, and it just helps keep everything nice and clean. The final step before we can start putting the rail together is to take the profiled top rail, slide the grommet out of the end, around about 20 to 25mm on each side, and then we're going to cut that plastic away. We're going to do that again at the other end, so we'll end up with the grommet being about 25mm back, and that will allow us to get a screw down through there into the bracket to complete the installation process. If you forget to do this at this stage, don't worry, you can use a multi-tool or a Stanley knife to cut that away afterwards, but it's really good to just get this done now to make your life easier to install it. We're now going to take the longer screws from the fitting kit and back to our square tip drive piece, and we're going to pop them through this elongated hole and into the end grommet on the end of that smaller spindle. Get one in each side and ensure we get back onto our torque settings on our drill so we don't over tighten them and snap the heads off. Now taking our full length spindles, we locate them in the hole. Just with a small amount of pressure, you'll feel them locate inside that grommet. The purpose of the grommet is once the balusters are located, it acts as an anti-rattle function. So ensuring the grommet is located in the right place, we're now going to take our top profile and we're going to work from one end to the other, locating it on top of the square balusters. Just letting gravity do the work, bringing the rail down. And just continue to work down the length The final step in bringing the rail together is to take the longer screws and now secure the top rail down through that middle balustrade again. We've now turned the rail upside down, and this is the bottom of the base plate. We've taken our base cover strip and we're going to lay this over the top and mark the length. We can now cut this to length. Now we're happy it's cut to the right length. We're taking our base rail cover strip. Remember, this is the flat one to make it easy for you to remember. We're going to use a rubber mallet just to tap it into place. Before we fit our railing, we want to take these anti-rattle stickers and place them into the lower brackets. Next, we take our completed rail and we just carefully locate it into the brackets. As you can see, this is seated nicely into the brackets now. You can now see where we cut away the internal grommet to allow us to get a fixing down through the handrail into this base plate. We take our pre-drill, 3.5mm, create the hole, then back using our self-tapping smaller screws and our square bit, we're going to screw down through that handrail and secure it to the bracket. Next, we take our domed cover strip. It's been cut to length already. We're just going to apply that onto this top rail. Again, using our rubber mallet. Sometimes they do need a fair bit of persuasion. They snap into place. The final two components for your horizontal rail kit are the cover strips for the brackets. The thinner domed one goes on top over your handrail and snaps into place. Then the chunkier one fits over the base rail and locates in that lug at the back. Again, fits into place. If you haven't already done so, now's the time to take your post cap, place it on top of the post, and again, just tap it down into place. The horizontal post with cap and skirt gives you a slight rise at every post intersection, which interrupts the height of your rail. If you wanted to keep the rail at the same height all the way across your deck, we have a crossover section. So this is a Trex Signature crossover post, and as you can see, the handrail is cut to meet halfway across the post. Once it's been cut to sit halfway across the post, we secure it. Once you've cut the handrail to length to be housed inside the crossover bracket, you secure it to the bracket in the same manner as you would with the rest of the signature railing fixings. Hop on the cover strip, same as before. Finally, take the crossover cover plate, locate that centrally. This gives you a consistent handrail height in between your two corners.
When installing the Trex glass railing, the post and bracket system is the same. The top and bottom rail are prefabricated as they are stronger than the balustrade kits. We also have a foot block to take the weight off the glass. So we have a rectangular base rail and a domed top rail. There are two different gaskets in the kit, a chamfered one which goes into the base rail and this one goes into the handrail. Once you've finished your install, you will have this infill piece. This will go in the bracket up to the glass to fill the void. Once I've got my rail cut to size, I need to install my foot block. So I'm going to measure out to the center of each section and install that just like so. Now I've got my foot block installed, this will take all of the weight from the glass. When ordering your glass, it needs to be 6mm toughened. You have to make sure that all sides are polished so that the edge that's exposed is nice and smooth. So now I need to get my gasket and cut them to length. So before I put this in, I need to make sure that I've got the right gasket in the right place. So this angled gasket is for the base rail. The handrail gasket is a square cut and is a little bit shorter. When I drop the glass into the rail, to make sure it's located, the seal will sit nice and even all the way along. Now I can install my top rail by simply pushing it over onto the gasket. Now the top rail's on, I can screw down through the handrail into the brackets to secure. Once I've drilled through the top of the handrail with a 10mm drill bit, I can then pre-drill right the way through with a 3.5 and insert the 1.25" screw. Once I screw this into place, we insert our cover capping. So now I've got my glass installed, I have to put the small infill in. This does need to be cut. I find the easiest way is to cut it with a fine tooth circular saw over a piece of timber. When installing the little infill, we need to be very careful not to touch the glass. So I'm going to show you how I do it. This keeps my hammer away from the glass itself. So now my infills are in, the last part of this is to install the bottom base rail cap. That's our Trex Signature glass handrail complete. When installing Trex Signature stair rail kits, we have to order a Trex Signature post. These are longer and this allows us to cut it to the correct length. To mark up our brackets, we have to work out the angle, which should be between 32 and 37 degrees. I need to take a measurement from the nosing of each stair tread and make sure it's 25mm above. I can then mark this on either end, which gives me my bottom bracket measurement. I can then mark up from my bottom bracket to my top bracket in the same measurement I do with the handrail kits, and then I can cut my post to length.
Trex also offers a range of brackets to overcome any additional project needs you might have. One of the brackets that we offer is the Trex Swivel bracket. We do these in both a horizontal plane and to swivel down for a staircase as well. On the horizontal plane, you can screw this to the face of your post and you can change the angle away from a traditional 90-degree return. This is great if you've got an odd shaped deck or some different angles that you want to create. So the stair swivel allows you to swivel in the opposite plane. So we're changing the angle that the stair kit would run up and down at. A standard stair kit will run between 32 and 37 degrees of rake. This will allow you to deal with anything outside of those parameters.